On today's episode of a random Blue Jays first Blue Jays Day, Kevin Pillar. Kevin was born January 4th, 1989 in West Hills, California. Kevin, a right-handed hitting outfielder, was drafted by the Blue Jays in the 32nd round, 979th overall of the 2011 draft from Cal State. Kevin was an All-American and set the NCAA Division II record with a 54-game hit streak in 2010, batting .357. Of all the players ever drafted from California State, Kevin has the highest career WAR. WAR, or wins above replacement, a sabermetric statistic that estimates a player's total contribution to their team in a single number. It quantifies how many more wins a player adds to their team compared to a hypothetical replacement level player who is considered a readily available minimum cost player. A higher WAR indicates greater value. It is derived from a player's performance in all aspects of the game, including hitting, fielding, and base running. For reference, Kevin has a career WAR of 16.1. Babe Ruth is the all-time leader at 182.6. The active leader is Mike Trout at 87.5. The 2011 draft is littered with future superstars. At first overall, Garrett Cole. Trevor Bauer went 3rd. Anthony Rendon went 6th. Francisco Lindor 8th, Javi Baez 9th. Current Blue Jay George Springer was 11th, Brandon Nimmo 13th, Sonny Gray at 18, Trevor Story at 45, Blake Snell at 52. Other players selected in 2011 include Mookie Betts at 172nd, future Blue Jay Marcus Semien at 201st, Carlos Rodon at 491st, current Blue Jay Chris Bassett was 501st, Trey Turner 602nd, and Kyle Freeland at 1,081st. The Blue Jays made 50 picks in the 2011 draft. Of those, 15 made it to the major leagues. However, not all of the draft picks made it to the major leagues as a Blue Jay. For example, Aaron Nola was drafted by the Blue Jays at 679. However, he did not sign. Joe Musgrove, drafted at 46 by the Blue Jays, but was traded to the Astros on July 20th, 2012, with Kevin Commer, Francisco Cordero, Ben Francisco, Carlos Perez, David Rollins, and Asher Wojciechowski to the Houston Astros for David Carpenter, J.A. Happ, and Brandon Lyon. Anthony DeScalfini was drafted at 199, but was traded November 19th, 2012, with Henderson Alvarez, Yunel Escobar, Adini Hechavarria, Jake Marisnick, Jeff Mathis, and Justin Nicolino to the Miami Marlins for Emilio Bonifacio, John Buck, Mark Burley, Josh Johnson, Jose Reyes, and Cash. If you recall, this was one of the most memorable trades in Blue Jays history. Other players drafted by the Blue Jays in 2011, Austin Nola at 949, brother of Aaron, also did not sign. Luke Weaver at 589th, did not sign. Andrew Suarez, 289th, did not sign. Christian Lopez, 229, left as a free agent before making his major league debut. David Rollins at 739, he was also included in that J.A. Happ trade. The Blue Jays' first pick in 2011 was a right-handed pitcher out of Lawrence Academy, a high school, Tyler Beede at 21st overall, but he did not sign. Other players drafted in 2011 to play games for the Blue Jays. Dwight Smith Jr. at 53, played 57 games. Daniel Norris at 74, played 10 total games. Andy Burns at 349th, played 10 total games. John Birdie at 559, played 4 total games. And Taylor Cole at 889, played 1 game for the Blue Jays. The 2011 Blue Jays draft can be summarized as a successful failure. The Blue Jays identified and drafted many future major league players, but many did not sign or were traded long before they would reach the majors. The Blue Jays had 7 picks in the first 80. Of those, only Dwight Smith Jr. and Daniel Norris made it to Toronto. Musgrove and Tyler Beede made it to the majors, however, with other teams. And Jacob Anderson at 35th overall and Jeremy Grabczynski at 78th never played a game in the big leagues. Kevin Pillar would begin his professional career in 2011 for the rookie ball Bluefield Blue Jays in the Appalachian League. In rookie ball, Kevin would play in 60 games, garnering 73 hits, 21 doubles, 3 triples, 6 homers, and 36 RBIs, batting .369, an all-around great debut in professional ball. In 2012, Kevin would split time with the Dunedin Blue Jays at high A ball and the low A ball Lansing Lugnuts. For the 2012 season, Kevin would be awarded the Blue Jays Minor Leaguer of the Year award. Also in 2012, he was named MVP of the Midwest League. Other Blue Jays minor leaguers to win this award: in 2015, Ryan McBroom, and in 2017, Bo Bichette. Other notable players to win the MVP in the Midwest League include Byron Buxton, Mike Trout, Ben Revere, who would later play with Kevin in Toronto, Prince Fielder, whose father Cecil was a former Toronto Blue Jay, Adrian Gonzalez, Albert Pujols, and Paul Molitor. Going into the 2013 season, Kevin was ranked as the 15th best prospect for the Blue Jays according to the Baseball Prospect Book. Ahead of Kevin, in order at starting at 1, Aaron Sanchez, Roberto Osuna, Marcus Stroman, Sean Nolan, DJ Davis, Daniel Norris, Matt Smorrell, AJ Jimenez, Santiago Nessie, John Stilson, Alberto Tirado, Chase DeYoung, Christian Lopes, Adonis Cardona, and just behind Kevin at 16 was Mitch Ney. The Baseball Prospect Book summed up Kevin this way: hit .328, .378, .439 with 59 steals despite a mediocre tool set. Great instincts for the game. If you could stick his head on Jake Marisnick's body, you'd have a superstar. Pillar is probably a 4th outfielder, but an interesting player. Prior to his call-up in August 2013, Kevin would start the season for the AA New Hampshire Fisher Cats. He would later be called up to the AAA Buffalo Bisons on June 21, 2013. Kevin Pillar was called up to the Blue Jays August 14, 2013, when Colby Rasmus was sent to the disabled list. At the time of his call-up, Marcus Stroman tweeted, "Huge shout out to Kevin Pillar, most deserving player out there, the best pure baseball player I have ever played with." Noah Syndergaard tweeted, "Congrats to the Shark on making his Major League debut. Never seen someone play the game harder. Well deserved, buddy." Kevin made his Blue Jays debut and Major League debut on August 14, 2013 against the Boston Red Sox in Toronto. At the time of his call-up, the Blue Jays were 54-65, 16 games back of the eventual 2013 World Series champion Boston Red Sox in the American League East. The Blue Jays starting lineup: Jose Reyes at short, Rajai Davis in center, Jose Bautista in right, Edwin Encarnacion as the DH, Brett Lawrie at third, Mark DeRosa at DH. Later in the game, Adam Lind would pinch hit for Mark and remain in the game. JP Arencibia at catcher, Kevin Pillar in left for his Major League debut, and Munenori Kawasaki at second. Starting on the mound for the Blue Jays that day was Esmil Rogers. Other pitchers seeing action: Neil Wagner, Brett Cecil, Brad Lincoln. The Red Sox lineup was stacked with superstars: Ellsbury, Victorino, Pedroia, Ortiz, Napoli, along with future Blue Jays catcher Jared Saltalamacchia. John Lester got the start on the mound. Kevin's first at-bat in this game would come in the bottom of the second with the game tied at 0. With Mark DeRosa on first due to a walk and 2 out, Kevin would fly out to right field on a 1-2 pitch. Notably, Kevin did manage to foul off 3 straight pitches prior to flying out. In the bottom of the 4th, with the Jays leading 1-0, Kevin would again come to the plate with 2 out and Mark DeRosa on base. This time with Mark at second after a run-scoring double. Kevin, in his second Major League at-bat, would again fly out to right field on an 0-2 count. The third Major League at-bat would come in the bottom of the 6th. Still facing starter John Lester, Kevin would again come to the plate with men on and 2 outs. This time JP Arencibia was on second after another Blue Jays run-scoring double. Kevin would ground out 4-3. In the bottom of the 9th, in a tie game, Kevin had the chance to be a rookie hero in his Major League debut. However, he struck out looking to Bob Wickman. This would mark Kevin's final at-bat for the day, His final line, 0 for 4. On defense, where Kevin would make a name for himself as an outstanding defensive outfielder, Kevin would have 3 chances and make 3 putouts. Kevin was now a major leaguer, number 20,501 all-time. Kevin would remain with the Blue Jays for the remainder of the 2013 season, compiling 36 games played, 102 at-bats, scoring 11 runs, 21 hits, 4 doubles, 3 home runs, 13 RBIs, and 19 strikeouts, batting .206. In 2014, Kevin would split time with the AAA Buffalo and the Big Club, making 53 appearances in Toronto. In 2014, he would win the R. Webster Award as the Blue Jays MVP, awarded at each level. In AAA in 2014, Kevin played in 100 games, scored 57 runs, 131 hits, 39 doubles, 3 triples, 10 homers, 59 RBIs, 27 stolen bases, hitting .329 with an on-base percentage of .359. Other minor league MVP winners for the Blue Jays in 24 include John Berti in New Hampshire, Dwight Smith Jr. in Dunedin, Mitch Ney in Lansing, Franklin Barreto in Vancouver, Richard Arena in Bluefield, and Juan Kelly in the Gulf Coast League. Kevin became a regular for the Blue Jays in the 2015 season, where he would remain a fixture in the outfield until 2019, when he was traded to the San Francisco Giants on April 2nd in exchange for Juan DePaula, Alan Hansen, and Derek Law, who all combined to make 76 appearances for Toronto. In total, Kevin would play parts of 7 years in Toronto, playing in a total of 695 games, accumulating 641 hits, 303 runs, 156 doubles, 55 home runs, 231 RBIs, with a .260 average and an on-base percentage of .297. In 20 playoff games for the Blue Jays across the 2015 and 2016 playoff runs, Kevin would accumulate 74 at-bats, scoring 7 runs, 15 hits, 6 doubles, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs, for a .203 average. For his career, Kevin was always considered an exceptional defensive outfielder. To this, in 2015, Kevin was awarded the Wilson Defensive Player of the Year in center field. Also in 2015, Kevin was named Player of the Week for the week of September 27th. Kevin would continue to play up to the 25 season with stops in San Francisco, Boston, Colorado, New York Mets, Dodgers, Atlanta, White Sox, Angels, and finishing with the Texas Rangers for 20 games in 2025. Kevin would join the Sportsnet crew as an analyst for the 2025 Blue Jays playoff run. Kevin is one of the most liked Blue Jays players of all time for his hard work, hustle, and defensive excellence. This has earned him a spot in Blue Jays lore forever. For his Blue Jays career, Kevin ranks 32nd in games played, 31st in at-bats, 30th in hits, 25th in doubles, 20th in stolen bases, and 47th in RBIs. On the next episode of A Random Blue Jays First Blue Jays Days, the interesting story of Robinson Diaz.
Hello, my name's Poku and I don't know what to do.